Just ahead on CTV News, a federal judge has ordered the immediate release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, and residents at a Hyattsville condo are forced to vacate in the cold.
You just gotta find like the little space heaters, like the little plug-in heaters, just to like keep the kids warm and all that. Other than that, you know, pretty much just try to get through it for.
And
coming up on CTV News, a rare celebration from behind jail walls, how one ministry program is changing lives from the inside out.
plus, the National Transportation Safety Board sends a warning to Congress.
It's also an unthinkable dismissal of our investigation and of 67 families who lost loved ones in a tragedy.
These stories and more on CTV News, starting now.
Good evening. This is CTV News for December 11th. I'm Jonathan Hunter.
And I'm Anaya Falcon. Thanks so much for joining us.
For several weeks now, CTV News has been closely following the fight to bring Kilmar Abrego Garcia home. Well, today, Garcia's family is one step closer in making that a reality.
CTV's Katara Jones is standing by with the latest on the case.
That's right. Federal Judge Paula Zinnes has ordered the immediate release of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from ICE custody. In her order, Zinnes lays out that since there is no final order of removal from the government, Abrego Garcia cannot be deported from the United States. The judge is now requiring the Justice Department to notify Abrego Garcia and the court of the time and location of his release by 5 p.m. today. Abrego Garcia, who is a native of El Salvador, came to the United States as a teenager and was granted legal status back in 2019. He has been living in Beltsville with his wife and kids before he was mistakenly deported by ICE to a prison in his home country back in March. Under a court order, he was brought back to the U.S. and was again detained. Now, for months now, his family has been in a legal fight with the Trump administration, who most recently has been trying to deport him to the African country of Liberia. Abrego Garcia is currently being held in a detention center in Pennsylvania. CTV News will continue to follow this story as it develops. Back to you, Jonathan and Anaya, at the anchor desk.
Thank you, Katara, for that story, and we will stay on top of this story.
Residents at multiple buildings at Marylander Condominium in Hyattsville have been ordered to vacate immediately. This happened after county inspectors found the building unfit for human habitation because heat has been out during the cold weather. A notice on the property says residents must leave at once, but many residents say they were not aware of the order and remain living in their units, coping with space heaters and layers of clothing.
When it gets really cold at night, somewhere it'll feel the same temperature as outside. So, like I said, space heaters really just pulling through for pretty much just putting the kids first, you know, like trying to make sure the kids are warm, trying to make sure they can, you know, feel comfortable within the house. But other than that, you know, just try to get through it, really.
That resident also says he most likely will have to move if the issue isn't resolved because heat is a necessity for the winter. Prince George's County Code Enforcement has deemed the buildings unsafe as the lack of heat poses a health risk. And the Prince George's Department of Corrections is celebrating a milestone you don't always hear about: 2 years of a Christian ministry program for incarcerated individuals.
CTV's Noel James takes us inside the anniversary celebration.
Inside these walls, days can look the same, structured, routine, and predictable. But today it's somewhat different. It's a celebration not for time served, but for time invested in hope. Moving Forward Ministries, a non-denominational church, is marking 2 years of ministry. What started as a small weekly gathering with just 13 members has grown into a full spiritual support system with almost 200. And according to participants, it's life-changing. Here's Marcel and Tanner.
It helped me a lot because, you know, every week You know, you go through so much on the unit and stuff, you know, because now you take your mind off everything and put it on God and ask for His grace and mercy and His miracles.
When I first came to church and the chaplain asked me to sing, it gave me a great feeling. It made me feel like even though I'm in this trial right now, I still have something good to look forward to, and that's praising the Lord.
The chaplain called it God's gift to the incarcerated.
So many different testimonies of lives being changed. You know, some of them depressed and they come to service and feel a refreshment. So to see that's happening and them being encouraged, that's a blessing to me.
And as ministry steps into its third year, the goal is to get more baptized and to join the church.
We are currently planning for a baptism that will probably take place in the month of January 2026. So that's something new here for the department. We've never done it before, so we're excited about that. So just having the community and community churches and their leaders involved coming into this facility to assist us with our incarcerated individuals is something that we would like to see a lot more of.
And so the belief is that even behind bars, hope still has room to grow. In Upper Marlboro, I'm Noel James for CTV News.
NTSB has released their final report on the cause of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse that claimed the lives of 6 construction workers. Investigators believe a loose wire caused the dolly ship to lose power. The 259-page report states a label was covering the base of the connector, which prevented it from being fully inserted. That in turn shook loose and caused the boat to lose power and steering. Another contributing factor of the crash was the crew's inability to recover propulsion from the loss of electrical power.
Warning tonight from federal crash investigators. They say Congress may be about to make D.C.'s airspace less safe. National Transportation Safety Board Chair Jennifer Homedy is pushing back on a Pentagon-backed plan allowing more military helicopter training in the restricted airspace around Reagan National Airport. The change is part of the new Defense Authorization Act. Homedy sent a letter to the House and Senate Armed Services Committees warning it would undo safety measures put in place after January's deadly midair crash near DCA.
If this becomes law, no, I would be concerned about safety in the DC airspace. Absolutely not. I could not assure anybody. I would not stand up there and say this guarantees safety. It does not. It is a step backward. In fact, I would say it's a safety whitewash. At no point was the NTSB ever consulted about this language. We were unaware. We have spent a great deal reaching out to anyone. I will talk to anyone in the Hill. I don't care who they are. If they are for safety, they want to know about safety, I will talk to you. But not once did House Armed Services or Senate Armed Services reach out to us.
The NTSB is urging Congress to reverse course before the bill moves forward.
The Affordable Care Act tax credits that made health insurance more affordable are set to expire at the end of the month. This will impact more than 190,000 Marylanders who will have to pay more for their premiums. This issue is what led to the longest government shutdown in U.S. history. A bipartisan group of House lawmakers are proposing a bill that would extend the tax credits for 2 years while also making reforms. It's unclear yet if other Democrats will support the new bill now that changes are being proposed.
And Maryland's efforts to crack down on unlicensed assisted living homes are drawing comparisons to other states' stronger actions. An investigation found more than 115 suspected unlicensed facilities operating in Baltimore, even though it has been a felony to run such homes since 2023. State enforcement has been limited, but with only a handful of referrals for prosecution. Other states have laws allowing inspections of unlicensed homes and have strengthened penalties and enforcement for this matter. Advocates say stronger tools and public awareness could help protect vulnerable seniors and better shut down illegal care operations. And in other news, Senate President Bill Ferguson was unanimously re-nominated to lead the chamber again for a 7th consecutive term. Also, Senate President Pro Tim Malcolm Augustine, a Prince George's County Democrat, was renominated as well. This comes just after Maryland House Speaker Adrienne Jones announced her resignation. Maryland lawmakers are gearing up to head back to Annapolis on January 14th for the 2026 legislative session.
And you're watching CTV News. I'm Jonathan Hunter.
And I'm Anaya Falcon. Coming up.
If you're thinking about buying a live Christmas tree this year, there's a couple of things to keep in mind. I'll tell you those details in just a few minutes.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies. Food can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Everyone deserves to live a full life. And with your help, together we can end hunger. Join the movement at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
We all have a type.
Maybe you know what your type is.
Maybe you don't.
But you have one. Am I your type?
You can be the type to save lives.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays. Ready!
We don't have time for spills.
Next. We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Welcome back. The Prince George's County Planning Board has appointed a new director to help lead the county's Department of Parks and Recreation. Tara Eccleston is the new Deputy Director of Recreation and Leisure Services. She is no stranger to Parks and Rec, as she was a camper, seasonal worker during school, and later gained a 21-year career with the City of Rockville's department. Eggleston will now provide high-level oversight for the athletics facilities, special programs, and youth and countywide sports divisions.
And a wanted Laurel man is now in custody after having multiple warrants from Baltimore County. 26-year-old Quante Shepard was arrested by Laurel police and detectives during a foot pursuit last week. Shepard is a convicted felon and will now face even more charges for what police detained him from during his arrest. In a discarded backpack, they recovered a stolen .380 firearm and loaded magazine, crack cocaine, fentanyl and Percocet pills, drug paraphernalia, and cash.
As many people flood shopping malls to check their loved ones' names off their holiday list, Prince George's County Police want to remind everyone of some very important safety tips. Police Chief George Nader wants to encourage shoppers to be aware of their surroundings and stay alert. Remember, if you're out at night, park well in well-lit areas. Do not leave valuable items like laptops, cell phones, or wallets visible in your car, and you want to lock those items away in your trunk.
Make sure if you're doing a Facebook meetup or marketplace, you meet in a place that's crowded, that's safe, that you feel comfortable in. You know, don't go to somebody's house if you can avoid that. You know, these are the things that we want people to be aware of during the holidays.
And for those that shop online, remember to be mindful of the websites you go to. Nader says if a deal looks too good to be true, it probably is.
And Maryland State Police need your help collecting toys this holiday season. At any barrack location across the state, you have the chance to drop off new, unwrapped toys in the lobby. Some suggested donations include games, books, stuffed animals, arts and crafts, and other kid-friendly items. Gifts with food and realistic-looking weapons will not be accepted. The gifts will be distributed to community organizations, local partners, and programs in Maryland.
Can you believe it? Christmas is just 14 days away, and you only have a few more days to find the perfect Christmas tree for your home.
Our Michaela Newton shows us one option of where you can get one from in Bowie.
If you're driving on North Crane Highway in Bowie, you can't miss it. Here at the Patuxent Nursery, there are plenty of trees to choose from, but there's a couple of things to keep in mind.
We sell trees, shrubs, perennials, hard goods, pretty much anything you need.
The tree farm sells plenty of different types of live trees, from Nordman and Noble firs that came all the way from Oregon to Fraser firs that came from North Carolina.
The Fraser firs are the most scented, whereas the Nordmans are the least scented. Noble's a little more in the middle. And then fullness, do you want something that has a little more space, or do you want something that's a little fuller? Color of the needles, more blue or more green. Really, it just comes down to personal preference.
And because Christmas is just 2 weeks away, the time to buy one is now. After years of shortages, tree lots are stocked and ready for buyers. But if you plan on getting one of these,
the most important thing is to make sure that your tree stand is never empty of water. The first couple days it'll drink the most water, so you want to make sure that you're constantly refilling, make sure that it's moist. You can even put a humidifier nearby, and make sure it's away from any fireplaces, vents, any type of flammable things, but as long as your tree is nice and moist, you shouldn't have any issues. We have a great selection of trees here, so we try to make sure that they all last through the season.
In Bowie, Michaela Newton, CTV News.
Patuxent Nursery is open all week, but times vary. For more information, visit their website, patuxentnursery.com.
Montgomery County leaders may have to make some tough budget cuts due to the current financial picture. A newly released 6-year forecast shows the county is expected to lose $854 million in revenue. Financial officials believe things look stable for next year, but believe that may not be the case in 2027. Officials believe this is due to multiple reasons, including a reduced federal workforce, higher building costs driven by tariffs, and slower immigration, which is affecting construction and hospitality. Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown announced the conclusion of a $106 million settlement with Vanguard. The AG says the company failed to warn investors about unexpected tax bills caused by changes to its retirement funds. Under the terms of the settlement, investors will be compensated for capital gain taxes imposed based on Vanguard's actions. Brown says many Marylanders have capital gain taxes they should have never owed.
And Maryland is putting $1 million into expanding the state's first fully integrated algae-based biomanufacturing facility in Aberdeen. The money comes from TEDCO's Equitech Growth Fund and will go to the Brightwave LLC. The grant is being matched with $2 million in private funding to upgrade equipment and expand operations at the Converge Center near Aberdeen Proving Ground. Biomanufacturing using living systems like algae to make materials in a cleaner, more efficient way than traditional manufacturing, supporting everything from food and cosmetics to fuels and specialty chemicals. This upgrade will also support job growth in Howard County. And still to come on CTV News. Yesterday, we introduced you to CTV's newest segment, Hidden Gems Around the Beltway.
And today, we're bringing you part 2, where we look at places where you can get your grub on. Stay with us so you can stay hungry.
Oh, no!
The elves are gone!
Where did they run off to?
The map shows they're heading to Bel Air Mansion.
Stay behind the trees!
Don't let them see you.
Hide! Somebody's coming! Do you see anything?
Kids, we need your help.
Those naughty little elves are on the loose again, and we've got to return them to the North Pole in time for Christmas.
Join us for the Magic Elf Hunt.
Happening December 12th
through 14th.
And again December 19th through the 21st.
From 12 to 4 p.m.
At Bel Air Mansion.
For more information, visit cityofbowie.org/holiday happenings.
It's cancer.
Yesterday, we introduced you to CTV's newest segment, Hidden Gems Around the Beltway, where we explore the many communities that make up Prince George's County.
And today, we're continuing our field trip to Laurel to check out the foodie scene and more.
In this episode, we wander through Laurel's unique spaces of play and dining.
There's shopping, there's the parks, we got decent restaurants, we got everything around here.
I like the parks. I definitely like this park. I love Sankofa Yoga. I love the apothecary that's right next door.
We begin at Granville Goody Park, where still waters and winding trails invite families and friends to slow down and reconnect with the outdoors. Just around the corner, time falls back on itself at Dinosaur Park, a living fossil site where kids can dig into prehistory and adults rediscover childlike awe. Now, if monsters, witches, and killer clowns are more of your thing, you want to check out Laurel's legendary House of Horror and Escape Room. The old theater was abandoned for years, with unexplained events reported, making it the perfect place for a thrill. It is now one of the area's most spine-tingling attractions. Don't say we didn't warn you. After all the fun, you're bound to work up an appetite, and Laurel has several unique staples that you won't find anywhere else.
Everybody knows that Laurel is a food haven, a restaurant haven, and so, I'm really proud that we have continued to grow in the restaurant industry, but we have some historic places.
Newsback's Bar and Grill has been a cornerstone of Laurel's dining and social scene for over 7 decades. Family owned and operated, it has remained a steadfast presence on Baltimore Avenue. Looking for a sweet treat? Gigi's Ice Cream and Cafe is a sweet stop along Main Street that offers a delicious variety of flavors to choose from. And if you're looking to turn the night up a notch, Sky Vibe Restaurant and Lounge is a rooftop dining destination that blends culture, rhythm, and West African flavors. But for those looking to end the evening on a quieter note, just a few blocks away, a different kind of vibe awaits. Tucked just off Main Street, you'll find Cleopatra Winery. Here, the tempo slows, the lights soften, and each glass is a journey into elegance, craft, and heritage.
We have the Mayo, which is a Cabernet Sauvignon. We have our Rosé, we have a Pinot Grigio, a Chardonnay, and a Chardonnay.
This is the tasting room for Cleopatra Winery and Vineyard in Laurel. Owner Ifoma Onye says she was 8 years old in Nigeria when she asked her dad about starting a winery.
Seeing as this has been my childhood dream, I decided I would do it, just to show that if you set your mind on doing something, no matter what your color is, you can do it.
Cleopatra offers 7 different wines.
Our wines are so well balanced. The tannins are very well balanced. They're very potent. The Mayo is a dry Cabernet Sauvignon, but it's very, very rich in flavor, and that's why people love it. I'm the first African immigrant to open up a winery and vineyard in the whole USA. I'm the second black person to open up a winery and vineyard in Maryland. My vineyard is 6 acres. We've planted 2 acres, and we're planting the next 4 acres.
What are the challenges of having your own winery? I mean, obviously you're subject to the weather and what's happening. What are the challenges?
It's really keeping up to pace. It's really telling people that you're here. It's really getting people to come and taste the wine to see how good they are.
Tune in tomorrow to get part 3, where we check out some of Laurel's historic landmarks. And don't move, Simon Buggs has our Thursday sports page.
That's right. And I hear there's a shakeup happening with my Baltimore Orioles. What's going on, Simon?
Don't move, sports fans, because coming right up, the Baltimore Orioles made a big-time free agency move. Find out who the newest member of the Birds is when we come back.
The drug scene in Maryland is changing. Fentanyl and xylazine are being added to street drugs, and you may not even know it. Xylazine is not even intended for humans, and fentanyl is an opioid 50 times stronger than heroin and contributed to over 80% of overdose deaths in our state. Anyone who uses drugs, even occasionally, is at risk of overdose. To learn more, visit stopoverdose.maryland.gov or call or text 988.
All right, everybody, y'all know what time it is. Let's get into your Thursday sports page. Now, first, I've got to give you all a heads up on the high school basketball teams that are taking the court later on today. Now, for our girls matchup, we have Friendly facing off against Oxon Hill, Largo facing off against Frederick Douglass, the Laurel Lady Spartans traveling to Bladensburg to square off against the Lady Mustangs, and finally, High Point, who will be hosting Northwestern. And there'll be some matchups on the boys' side as well, as Gwen Park will try to get their third win of the season versus Potomac, Sarasville, who will face off against College Park Academy, Parkdale, who will be on the road tonight taking on Wise, and finally, the defending state champs in Largo will begin their state title defense with their game versus Frederick Douglass. Meantime, some exciting news out of College Park, as defender Lassie Kelp has been named a finalist for the Mac Herman Trophy. This trophy is given out every year and is considered to be the most coveted honor a player could receive. Kelp had an amazing season with the Terps, being named Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year after helping Maryland lead the conference in goal differential and posting shutouts in 9 games. The Terps are coming off a great season, winning the Big Ten championship and had an Elite 8 appearance in the NCAA tournament. The Germany native was the 3rd Terp ever to win Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year and is attempting to become the 3rd Terp in program history to win the Mac Herman Trophy. The 3 men's finalists will be named for the award on December 17th. And moving on to some news out of Charm City, the Baltimore Orioles have made another move to help the team get back to the postseason in 2026 with the signing of first baseman Pete Alonso to a 5-year, $155 million deal. The 31-year-old had been with the New York Mets for the past 7 seasons before coming to the Birds, and in his last season with the team, he recorded a .272 batting average, .347 on-base percentage with 38 home runs and 126 RBIs, which earned him his 5th All-Star nod. Looking forward to seeing what he do in the black and orange, Pete. And wrapping up your Thursday sports page, the Washington Capitals will take the ice tonight against the Carolina Hurricanes. The game begins at 7 o'clock. And that is your Thursday sports page. See you guys tomorrow.
Thanks, Simon. Now let's get a look at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight will be cloudy with wind speeds up to 8 miles per hour. And tomorrow it's going to be 39 degrees and we have a 20% chance of snow after 1 p.m. Saturday will be mostly cloudy with a high of 44 and more snow expected Saturday night. Sunday we have a 50% chance of snow and we'll have a high of 50 and a low of 18.
And for our community calendar, this Sunday, Joe's Movement Emporium is hosting Kawumba, a Kwanzaa experience for families. Bring in the Kwanzaa season with special performances, hands-on craft workshops, food tastings, and more. This event takes place from 1 to 4 p.m. For more information, you can visit joesmovement.org.
And do you have a story to tell? You can reach out to our CTV News tip line.
You can give us a call at 301-386-4085 or you can send an email to ctvnews@pgctv.org. As always, we look forward to hearing directly from you.
And that's a wrap for CTV News for now. Thank you so much for joining us.
We're going to see you again tomorrow. Have a great night, everyone.